Well, we knew going into 2025, obviously, there is going to be major competition in the theme park realm with Epic Universe opening, and Disney, although they've come out and said that they think they're going to see a bump from Epic Universe and they're not worried about it, all signs pointed to Disney more than likely going to have to offer some major discounts to entice people to come over there, as they have announced the things that are opening, at least for 2025, being mostly shows, parades, and meet and greets, one of which being a Bluey meet and greet, which I'm curious about. I think on some level that could be a decent draw, but we'll have to wait and see how that one affects crowds. But I do think anybody that's really been paying attention to this understands that Disney was going to be offering some discounts. And yesterday we actually had a video talking about some of the things they announced in terms of discounts and free dining. They have even more now. So I figure with this video, we'll go through all of the discounts that Disney is offering, and it's quite a bit. So we're going to go through these and give some thoughts on it here. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic, and we're going to use Blog Mickey here. Like I said, there's 4 major ones. So the first one we'll start with is just general discount. So Disney World launches 30% discount on hotel rooms for summer of 2025, which again, you will look at most of these. It is starting in terms of like when these discounts are available. It's after Epic Universe opens, so obviously Disney is not confident of what they're offering just in the theme parks is enough to lure people over, and they're going to go for some major discounts, which again is something that we all basically expected them to do. It says, as we previewed yesterday, Walt Disney World has launched its summer discounts for hotel rooms. So right now this is for the general public discount on hotel rooms, which allows for savings of up to 30%. There are larger discounts available for Florida residents and annual pass holders, which we will talk about here shortly. It says save up to 30% on select Disney Resort Collection hotels when you stay 5 consecutive nights or longer this summer. It says plus enjoy other savings for shorter stays. This offer is valid for most nights from May 1st to September 30th. So again, Epic Universe is opening May 22nd. So you see a lot of these time frames of being when they're really going to offer these discounts. And Disney basically come out and said themselves that they think the first part of 2025 is going to be pretty slow, but they're hoping, I think they're hoping, they're saying they think they're going to see a bump, but I think that they're hoping that they get a spillover effect here. Most nights from May 1st to September 30th, save 30% when booking 5 nights or more, save 25% when booking for stays of 1 to 4 nights. So people are still, obviously, first off, people are still going to go to Disney. I'm not saying that people are not. I'm not going to say the theme parks are going to be empty. But I do think the struggle with Disney is going to be convincing people to stay a week at Disney World when you now have Universal Studios with Epic Universe. And obviously there's going to be a lot of people that want to go over there, and that is becoming much more of a week-long vacation destination, as if you count their water parks, they now have 4 parks. Some people call it the water park or theme park, but either way, there are 4 parks that people can now do at Universal Studios starting in May. And Universal is pricing and really setting up their ticket packages to take advantage of the demand of Epic Universe and trying to get people to stay on the property longer, offer discounts, at least on the hotels and like in packages. And their hotels are already pretty, decently priced to begin with, so they don't have to go massive discounts on their own hotels. But I think that leaves a lot of people looking at maybe going over to Disney, but not going for 3 to 4 nights. I think that is the thing that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So the fact that, yeah, they are offering 30% when you stay 5 nights or more, but you're only knocking 5% off of that for people staying 1 to 4 nights, which is a pretty interesting move there. And the next discount they have is Florida residents, and it says save up to 35% on Disney World hotel rooms during this same time period here. Florida residents can stay in the Magic and save on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels this summer and save up to 35% on stays from May 1st to July 31st if you book by February 24th. So it's a shorter time period there, but you're also talking about locals, and they can get, they can travel much quicker. And I think that's something they're probably looking at there too. But again, you're looking at this opening time frame for Epic Universe as this major area where they're offering some of these discounts here. And I'll put the links in the description of this, but not, it's up to 35%. Some of them are not at full 30%, depends on the hotel, length of stay, and things like that. But Florida residents can save a little bit more there. And the group of people that I think Disney is going to heavily be relying on are annual pass holders. And if you look historically, Disney typically will lean pretty hard on their annual pass holders when they need to and offer some pretty significant discounts. And this is no different, as annual pass holders can save up to 40% on Walt Disney World roomed hotels for summer of 2025. And the details on this are that pass holders can stay in the Magic and save with this special offer valid on rooms at select Disney Resort Collection hotels. Save up to 40% on rooms for stays most nights from June 1st to July 31st, and save 35% on rooms from most stays from May 1st to May 31st. So the timing is interesting on that. It seems like you're going to get bigger discount after the opening period of Epic Universe, basically. Epic Universe is opening May 22nd. But again, annual pass holders can save up to 40%, which is a very heavy, significant discount, especially when you're talking about many times, it's been discussed that even the value resorts at Disney at certain time periods, you're paying $200 plus. And I think when you compare those to Universal's many times, you can get a 1-bedroom suite. They call it a 2-bedroom, but it's a 1-bedroom suite at Surfside or Dockside. Depending on when you do that and when you book that, you can still get them somewhere in the low $100 range sometimes. So, the value that Universal offers on the hotels, I think Disney is going to try to be matching that and entice people to come over. But 40% off if you're an annual pass holder is a pretty good discount, especially in a group of people that already have their tickets taken care of. And so you're talking about if they can, it's almost half off. And I won't be surprised if they do push this even higher if they do see that the attendance in the parks is not going well. I won't be surprised if looking more toward the fall, because September is typically a pretty slow period anyways. If they're not seeing the bookings, you could see this creep over 40%. To really get at least the annual pass holders, because again, this is the group of people, historically, they don't make as much money off of. Chapek used to talk about all the time that, they were going after the family, and I think he would say like Wisconsin or wherever, on a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Obviously, people that are traveling from out of state and people who don't already have their tickets paid for tend to spend more money. Locals and pass holders don't spend as much money, and that's what Disney's really going after here. So offering 40% on the pass holders, it's pretty significant there. And in the video yesterday, we talked about this, but we'll just go over this to make this all a complete list here of discounts, is that Disney has brought back the free dining deal that they have done historically. Now, it's not the same as it used to be. It's a lot more restrictive, and people have talked about that, but they are bringing this back, which they have done. This kind of started after like 9/11 is when they started this to really try and get people to come to the parks, because after 9/11, obviously travel was way down, and this is something that for a period of time before COVID, people waited and would use this, and they typically offered it once per year, and a lot of people, even though it doesn't, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't actually save you a lot of money. It is simpler because you're paying rack room rates when it comes to the hotels to get the free dining plan here. But people do, I think, like it for one reason being it's almost like a cruise in terms of like all your food is taken care of outside of tips, and it makes for a simpler vacation. But they are bringing this back. So it says, you're now available for booking. You can get a free dining plan with the purchase of select Walt Disney World vacation packages for travel dates starting just in the time for summer. From January 2nd to February 10th, you can get a free dining plan with the purchase of a non-discounted 3-night and 3-day at minimum Walt Disney Travel Company package that includes a room at select Disney Resort hotels. You also have to get a Park Hopper ticket option with this as well. This offer is available for most arrivals starting May 27th through June 26th and July 7th through August 6th. So again, this is for the summer in that opening time period with Epic Universe, and I'm not surprised to see that. Now, I think the thing with this being a 3-night stay, this is what they typically do, but again, this is the question I have about how people are going to visit the parks in 2025. I don't think anybody knows. I think when you're looking at recent history, people can point to the Wizarding World when they opened at Universal, and obviously they saw a big attendance bump from that, and you saw at different times that Disney had, it went down a little bit in their attendance, and then later years it kind of bumped back up when they had some stuff come online. But you're talking about a brand new theme park opening up with all this, anticipation and all this hype. I don't think anybody really knows how this is going to go. I don't think Disney knows how this is going to go. I think what they're saying publicly is, obviously they're going to put on the best foot they can. They have investors, and they're wanting to seem like, they do have the market share. They are still the biggest theme park destination in the world. And they're not going to come out and say that, Universal is going to really, eat our lunch on this, or that's going to hit our attendance. So it's not something I expect them to say, but I do anticipate internally many discussions are what they're hopeful for and what they maybe think will happen are different. But I really don't think anybody really knows. I think the only people at this point that have any inkling of what this looks like is Universal. They're not going to come out and say, what they're looking at in terms of ticket sales or anything like that. They may in their next fiscal earnings report, but as of right now, we just have them saying that they're very happy and they've been blown away by the response of this. We did see UK's biggest ticket provider over there say that once Epic Universe tickets were announced, that they had, I think it was 175% increase in their sales over there on the UK side. So, but again, that was also covering, I believe, 2025 and 2026. So obviously people are buying tickets to go to Universal to check out Epic Universe, but we're not going to know the actual numbers of this for a while. So some of this is just trying to, read the tea leaves of things like that. But by Disney offering all these things, I mean, they are definitely trying to entice people to come over to the Disney parks. And by offering, the nighttime parades, the shows, the lounges, like they're really, I think, going to have to rely really heavily on the pass holders and the Florida residents as people who come into the parks more, because I think the biggest challenge with this is going to be people coming from out of state or out of town or overseas, because those people, I think a lot of them, and I think Disney thinks or hopes there's a spillover effect. So with them, they're excited to go to Epic Universe, check out Universal Studios. So they're going to have to try and convince them to come over to Disney also. And I think the question is, are they going to come over for one day? Are they going to come over for 3 to 4 nights? How does that look? Because even if people are still going to Disney, they're just not going as much and perhaps not spending as much money. Like that is going to be felt by Disney. And considering, the things they announced at D23 are not going to be open for many years from now, really they're left with these, it's things people want. I'm not saying people don't want it. The nighttime parade, people have been asking for that for a long time. So they're finally doing that. And some of the meet and greets and the lounges. I think for the Disney fan base, these are things that they want. But even of those people, how many of them are also going to go to Epic Universe? Like, I think Disney is trying to maintain their attendance as well as they can here. These discounts are, if you're looking to go, I mean, it is good discounts here to check out. But I think the timing of it is very obvious that is during this Epic Universe opening time period. And I think that's an indication that, I said this in the video the other day, that obviously Disney's not confident and just their theme park offerings are going to be enough to draw people over. If that was the case, they wouldn't be running these discounts already. So we're already seeing, things Disney says publicly and what they say, like, investor meetings being different from what they're offering in the public. And, earlier they had stated that they said their bookings were looking really good. But when they typically offer discounts like this, I would take a guess that their bookings aren't looking great for this time period, because again, there'd be no reason to run these discounts if that was the case. If they were selling out of rooms where people are already booking, I think you wouldn't see them be running these discounts because they wouldn't need to. And I think looking at this now, it's very evident that during this time period, Disney's already looking at these bookings and thinking, oh, we got to get people over here. And discounts are really the only card they have to play. I've said this many times, as if the attendance does have a fall off for Disney, what cards do they have left to play? The only one they can really, do is discounts. And I say you can do hotel discounts, you can do ticket discounts. We're not seeing the ticket discounts on here. I won't be surprised if they also run ticket deals. They've done that in the past as well. But I think you're looking at a year, perhaps a couple of years, of pretty heavy discounts to try and keep that attendance from really perhaps falling off here. But I think if it was looking good on the bookings and things like that, you would not be seeing these. So I think we're already seeing a little early indication of Disney being a bit worried about this, as I think they rightfully should be. So it'll be interesting how the crowds, flow and go from Epic Universe to Disney. If people are waiting to go to Epic Universe more until the crowds die down, and some people are worried about the brand new theme park of it being operating and rides being down, things like that. But already, first part of 2025, we're seeing Disney kind of show their hand here on these massive discounts. And again, I think they're going to lean pretty heavily on the annual pass holders and Florida residents to really try and bolster their attendance. And, I don't think Disney probably thinks that they're going to, sway anybody from going to Disney over Epic Universe. But I think they're probably going for if you're going to go to Epic Universe, also come to Disney, and you can save some money if you do that. And I'll have to wait and see if they have any more discounts on tickets, which I think we likely are looking at them probably having some more future discounts on top of the things that they're offering now. But either way, that's going to be it though for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about these discounts Disney is offering? And do you think, like I do, that this is an indication that bookings aren't looking great going into the summer of 2025? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.